Hello, I'm Rod Raglan. This is Not Your Friend, Not Your Family Book Reviews. On this channel, I present conflict of interest reviews of the work of self-published authors, and I also post reviews on books I'm writing. I'd like to think my reviews are constructive, but let's face it, I don't give out many 5 stars. This is not because I can write better than some of the authors I review. It's just easier to see the mistakes in other people's work than my own. Just so you don't think I'm a pompous ass, and you might anyway, I thought I'd share some personal stories about how I came to write my 6 novels and 2 plays, and what I've learned along the way. I'm hoping you might pick up some marketing insights, mostly what doesn't work, writing tips about themes and motivation, and empathy from someone who is traveling the same road and has likely had less success than you. How did I come to write my first novel, Saving Spiritbear? There it is, Saving Spiritbear. There's a little spirit bear up there. I had a plan to become a successful, published author. I would begin writing romance novels because they have the most readers of any kind of fiction and are the easiest to get published. This is not to say authors of genre fiction aren't good writers. I've subsequently learned that writing within the confines of genre is more difficult than you can imagine. Back to the plan. Once I had a bit of a publishing track record, traditional publishers of mainstream literary fiction would be more likely to consider me. Right? Right? Saving Spiritbear was my first novel. It was originally published as Spiritbear. The reason for the name change will be explained in a later posting. Not a happy story. The theme I wanted to explore was whether the end ever justifies the means. I wanted to present real moral dilemmas for both the protagonists and the antagonists, not just the desire for profit and power. For example, is it all right to compromise your integrity if the goal is just and noble? As well as presenting a satisfying romance, I hope to address this issue by introducing a subplot about an environmental issue. In this case, endangered species and the destruction of their habitat, something I feel strongly about. The story is about Kimberly James, an ambitious young junior executive in a New York corporate relations firm who sees an opportunity to advance her career by doing whatever is necessary to push through the development of a mega ski resort in Canada. Jonah Baker is part owner of a lodge on the land of the proposed ski resort. He's an ardent environmentalist and not about to permit a development that threatens ancient rainforests and the habitat of the rare and endangered spirit bear at any price. Kim begrudgingly respects his principles before profit, but can't allow a tree-hugging, bear-loving zealot to derail her fast track to success. Jonah admires her determination and worldliness, but will fight to the end to stop a materialistic corporate climber from destroying something rare and unique. Well, you likely know the rest of this story because genre literature follows a formula, and if you read romance, you know what's going to happen. If you don't and you want to find out, you can go to my Amazon authors page and buy a copy. Anyhow, after striking out with agents and traditional publishers, I sent Saving Spiritbear to 3 e-publishers. All of them wanted to publish it. I chose one and rationalized my failure to attract any real publishers by saying ebooks were preferable, less impact on the environment. It would be an overstatement to say my sales were even mediocre. Reviews were almost non-existent. No agents, no traditional publishers came knocking on my door. At the time, I was a member of the local chapter of the Romance Writers of America, 85 women and 2 men. Since I wasn't getting any significant reader response, I asked the published writers in my RWA chapter what they thought the problem was. Saving Spiritbearer, I was told, was not popular with romance readers for a number of reasons. I didn't introduce the love interest soon enough. My happily ever after was lukewarm, almost not at all. I needed to sex it up. My subplot overshadowed the romance. My hero lacked testosterone. My heroine didn't show enough vulnerability. My words were too big. My plots too real. My characters too unlikable. Obviously, my story was out of control. However, I was encouraged by my publisher who dubbed the book Echo Phi, Environmental Fiction, and asked for 2 more with a similar theme for a series entitled Echo Warriors. I was still naive enough to think my e-publisher knew what she was talking about. So, filled with hubris, I felt it was only a matter of time until sales improved. To this end, I began an enthusiastic Facebook campaign, friending everyone and anyone. There was never any question about letting the lack of success of my first novel defeat me. I love to write, successfully or otherwise, and during the process of writing Saving Spiritbearer, I experienced glimpses of something very exciting, the story following its own trajectory, and the characters taking on lives of their own. I eagerly set about writing my second novel, but I was worried. Would I find my next story and its characters restricted by the confines of this genre? Well, that's the next question and what you'll find out in my next posting. Did I find my next story and its characters restricted by the confines of genre? You have to wait and see. Thanks for watching. Remember what Nietzsche said, art is a proper task in life.